Thank you, Mr. Chairman. General Hokanson, first, I want to say I have a very warm spot in my heart for the National Guard. As governor, I had one of the largest call-ups in our state's history when we had a disastrous ice storm that knocked about half of our people off the electric grid. The Guard was absolutely indispensable. So I have a very strong belief in the efficacy and the importance of the Guard. A specific question. The Guard is now being called upon, as you mentioned in your testimony, in areas of these protests around the country. Do the Guard units that are being called up in that regard have any special training in the area of crowd control and training to deal in these kinds of very difficult situations where we weigh civil liberties against public order?
Senator, thank you for that question. And yes, they do. And we rely on our state adjutants general to make sure that any of our soldiers that are employed in that manner are trained and equipped prior to them assuming those duties.
Thank you. General Groves, General Perna, you've got one of the most important assignments in the United States government right now. And I wanted to touch just on a couple of points that have been made previously. This administration rather famously has some disdain for international cooperation and international organizations, left the World Health Organization. I hope that you will continue to cooperate with international efforts to find a virus. This virus doesn't care whether you're Brazilian or American or English. So it just strikes me that there may be additional science and wisdom being developed in other parts of the world that we should take advantage of. One of my mottos is all of us are always smarter than one of us. And can you commit that you are open to working with international partners on this project?
I do commit to that, Senator.
All the questions today have revolved around the relationship between safety and speed. I think it's very important to refer back to 1955 and the Cutter vaccine, which was administered to 200,000 children in the Midwest and West, 40,000 of whom ended up contracting polio. If we're going to inject something into the arms of 300 million Americans, we better be damn sure that it's efficacious and also safe. There's going to be tremendous pressure to do this in a hurry. I hope that you will exercise all possible efforts to be sure that the vaccine that's being used will in fact protect us and also not make us sick.
I give you my personal insurance on that. I every day think about my 3 granddaughters and my parents to that end.
Have you been offered Defense Production Act authority? Have you been explicitly told if you need it, you have it?
I do not have authority at this time, but I feel 100% that I have immediate access to it through Secretary Azar and Secretary Esper.
I hope that you will ensure that that's the case so that when the moment comes, there's not a long delay waiting for that authority to be granted. Final question, how is the price going to be determined of this vaccine, bearing in mind that the United States taxpayers have already or will already have made significant investments in these private companies in order to enable them to develop the vaccine?
Senator, we're in negotiations with each company to make sure that we are going to obtain the right price for the vaccine. I commit to you that I will personally be involved in those conversations and that we will not be gouged to taking care of the American people.
Thank you for that, and I hope you'll really pay close attention to that. And the other piece is, of course, who pays for the vaccine for those millions, 25, 30, 40 million Americans who don't have health insurance. We've got to be able to discuss that issue as well, because already this disease is not an equal opportunity killer, and we don't want the vaccine to be anything but equal opportunity for all Americans who need it. Thank you, General. I look forward to working with you, and appreciate your willingness to take on this incredibly important project.
Thank you,